When it comes to things NASCAR succeeds in, the amount of different camera angles is without a doubt one of them. With most major US sports, the viewer at home usually gets only 1, 2, maybe 3 different camera angles to watch the entire game from. But NASCAR has dominated in an area of giving fans access to numerous ways of watching. The first camera angle is what I'm going to call outside the track, typically located behind the outside wall, but it can also be behind the flag stand or spotter stand. This is the most common way NASCAR is broadcasted. It's a very simple camera angle, but it does a great job of capturing the racing. Another camera we see quite often in NASCAR broadcasts is the onboard camera. Just as you would think, this is a live camera that's built into the race car. We even get to see what a driver is doing at any moment in the race, thanks to the in-car camera. This points to the driver inside the car with sponsors conveniently placed in the background. What fans get to see isn't limited to the driver's upper body, however. At road courses, sometimes foot cameras are installed in the driver's car. This is so fans get a new perspective to see how drivers work the gas and the brakes at complex road courses. Now let's go over some of my favorite camera angles. The back bumper camera points to all the drivers behind it at an up close and personal level. This camera angle never gets old, especially if 2 drivers are battling hard for position. Next is the blimp or potentially helicopter cam. I say helicopter cam because I personally have never seen the Goodyear blimp at any Phoenix Raceway race that I've ever gone to, but there's always a helicopter hovering above. In my opinion, it's the absolute best and superior way to watch a NASCAR race. If I could watch one from the Goodyear blimp, I would do it every time. You can see a lot more cars and pick them out of a crowd very easily with this camera angle. Also, we get a better idea of the distance between cars relative to each other. I don't know the correct term for this one, but it's either called the sky cam or the cable cam. The shots we get with these cameras are incredibly unique. It doesn't seem like NASCAR uses them anymore, however. Maybe it's because of the mishap that happened with the camera at Charlotte in 2013. If it's true that NASCAR no longer uses this camera angle, I would like to see it return. Although I would assume that it costs a lot to install, the use of this camera is at a handful of NFL stadiums and can really bring a wild new perspective. Although this camera was never named, I'm going to go ahead and call it the splitter cam for very obvious reasons. This camera was absolutely perfect at capturing the sense of speed as well as the smoothness or roughness of the racetrack. I can recall it being used in 2016 and maybe at a few other races in addition to Dover, but it seems like it's been abandoned. The digger cam was a camera installed in the actual racetrack surface itself. Again, I can't recall seeing this camera angle recently, but just like the splitter cam, it did a great job of capturing the sense of speed, but this camera itself was stationary. It's now time to go over the newest camera angles to the sport of NASCAR. First, there was a camera similar to the sky cam, and I don't really know what to call it, but it basically did the same thing as the sky cam. I believe it was more of a camera on a crane on a track, if that makes any sense at all. This camera was only used at Watkins Glen in 2019 and it's unknown if it'll ever return. However, it brought a unique perspective to road racing. The visor cam is relatively new in NASCAR too. This camera is attached to a driver's helmet and shows the perspective of a driver in first person. Lastly, NASCAR finally used a drone cam for the first time in the 2020 Daytona 500. And this isn't any drone cam, this is the Fox drone cam. However, they didn't use the drone cam at Las Vegas for the race following Daytona, so it'll be interesting to see whether or not it gets used ever again. Sometimes a question that pops into my mind is, what additional camera angles can NASCAR possibly come up with? Is there one? And what would it be? And every time I attempt to answer this question, I get very stumped. So if you can come up with a new, unique camera angle for NASCAR races, comment it down below. I really want to thank Exter for coming back and being the sponsor of today's video. Exter is unique from any wallet I've ever seen. My favorite part of their wallets is how easy you can access your most important cards. More importantly, your Exter wallet has the option to come with a tracker, ensuring that if you ever lose your wallet, you'll be able to track it down better than your favorite celebrity. By using the Chipolo app, you can ask the tracker in your wallet to ring, making it convenient if you misplace your wallet within your house. And you can even find your phone by pressing the button on the tracker twice. Big shout out to Exter for sending me this wallet and supporting the channel. Make sure you check them out at their website down in the description below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and if you want to see more videos just like this one, remember to subscribe, like the video, and I will see you guys in the next race.
So let me break it all down for you. I ain't never giving up, I ain't never giving up. Taking that crown from you. I ain't worried about you, I ain't never. So let me break it all down for you. I ain't never giving up, I ain't never You know I'm taking that crown from you. I ain't worried about